Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Vinyl Divers. I'm your host, Anthony Molinello. What is up? What is up? Content month. I put out a video a little bit ago. I'm dropping some new audio content through YouTube where I'm just putting out backdated episodes of Vinyl Divers and be like, you know what? If someone wants to listen to it on YouTube, why not make it available to them? So those are being dropped. I have a big series coming up through there, as well as new episodes. I'm trying to put out YouTube video when I'm able to. And as you can see here, I have a guest. I'm not running solo right now. I have a good friend. You've heard his voice before, but now you could see his face. Brian Clerc.
What's up?
What's going on?
Well,
you've been getting newer to video as well, dropping some ukulele covers. I've been seeing on Facebook. What are some of your favorite songs to have done as ukulele covers?
Some of the good ones. I mean, just songs that I've liked for such a long time. Actually, probably my most liked one was Benny Benassi's "Cinema," which is a pretty good song. It's more kind of like an electronic song, but that was cool to do it as like a ukulele cover. So that was awesome. And I did like Weezer, "Perfect Situation," which such a great favorite song of mine, and so that was a good one. Nice. And then like Coldplay, "Yellow," just like classic song like that was awesome to just switch over. It's just really cool to be able to take all these awesome songs, and with the ukulele, I mean, it's 4 strings, it's a lot easier. It's just all chords, and just be able to like cover them. And I mean, props to myself. I'm getting better. Oh yeah. What I'm doing, so it's nice to see my improvement and see that it's actually getting better and people are still enjoying it. So that's awesome.
That's good. I remember you picked up the uke almost about a year now, right?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. You started off with a little smaller ukulele, and then you're like, I remember you called me up one day, and you're like, so I'm gonna get a bigger uke, and I'm like, you're gonna get a bigger uke, really? And you're like, yeah, I think I need to get something a little more intense. And dude, you've been putting out some great stuff since, so yeah. I can't wait to see what's to come from it. But yeah, I have you on today. I wanted to discuss and kind of list our top 5 favorite concerts. So you were eager to jump in
in this concert list time.
We need to reminisce.
Reflect on the good times.
Exactly. I think it's great. Have you been to any like live shows socially distant? During COVID, have you been to anything like that, or has it just been
the only like live music? I mean, I don't even go out to like restaurants, bars. I mean, for like takeout and stuff, that's about it. Mm-hmm. But no concerts, like not at all. I know you guys had gone to like a drive-in one.
We did the one drive-in one, and as much as we love the band, it was down in the state before the restrictions were put in as far as traveling bans. Yeah. And the state that we went to, it was not safe after it. And we were just like, all right, we need to probably rethink that moving forward.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only day I did recently did listen to July Talk, Canadian band July Talk. Really? They did a drive-through concert, and they actually like live streamed it. Like paid like $5 for a ticket. They could live stream their concert there. So that was my cool concert experience, which was awesome. I mean, it's great to see them in concert and actually see a concert. So yeah, that's what we got for right now.
We've a couple of our favorite bands have done them. Ballyhoo, Tropodelic. Oh man, who else? The Dirty Heads, I think, did one, or no, it was a Bumpin' Uglies did a live stream that we've caught on through Facebook or through YouTube. Love them, but there's something we miss about being in concert, being there live. So let's go back and let's reminisce on some good ones.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
Do we go number 5 and count down to 1?
I mean, I say that would have to be the way to go.
So I did get my top 5. So I do have a few like collaborations where it was like the actual concert, but it was 2 artists back to back, which made it that much more amazing. So my number 5 was actually Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age, Cal Jam 2017.
Oh.
2 headliners of the California Festival in San Bernardino. It was a Saturday. I went out for the weekend, stayed at my buddy's house, and just California Festival all day. So many other bands, Cage the Elephant, Royal Blood. I mean, Cal Jam is like a monumental festival. It used to be more back in like the 70s, but Dave Grohl actually like revived it and brought it back. And that's why Foo Fighters and Queens of Stone Age headlined that festival. And my first time seeing both of those bands, and I mean, those are huge names in rock music. So
Oh yeah,
I was extremely ecstatic. And then
I would love to see Foo Fighters live. I think that'd be a great concert. I'm sad to say I don't know a lot of Foo Fighter music. I don't listen to them a lot, but I love Dave Grohl through Nirvana, and some of the hits I do know of Foo Fighters. Because I know if I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. Like I know Everlong, and sure, I know the other stuff.
They have so many singles out
yeah.
there. You know a lot more songs than you think you do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I know them. I can't pull them from memory right now, but like I would love to see, especially his intensity. I want to see that kind of on stage. Like that's a great presence. How close were you for this show?
I mean, I was towards the back. Those were the last concerts of the day, so everybody was up there. I mean, I was under the influence of a few things, so I wasn't trying to get into the crowd too much.
Okay.
But the venue, the lawn kind of went up as like a hill, so I was at like kind of top of the hill looking down. So it was absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
For my 5, I'll drop just very quick. I'll say is Slip. I went to Knotfest last summer, 2019.
Last summer, dang, okay.
Yeah, and as my 5th, just because it was my first time really seeing a band like Slipknot, that was a very intense, very aggressive concert. It was it was a difference. Like I've been to Warped Tour, and I have Warped Tours on this list as well, because I can't put I don't want to list multiple years. I just it's on there, but you get a little bit of heavier crowd there. But like going to Slipknot, like Knotfest, that was a very intense, very just like I was sitting in the amphitheater, like in the actual seating, and it was still high energy, high aggressive, like, oh no.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Like, oh yes. Like I wasn't even in a pit, and you're just like, oh my God, this looks freaking crazy. Yeah. Throw it on, everyone.
Well, because they're definitely all about their live show and stuff too. So Slipknot was actually my first concert.
Really? That was your first concert?
First big
really
was Slipknot, Darien Lake, back in 03.
Oh my God.
Way back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but that was amazing.
So let's what's your number 4?
So number 4 I have Metallica, Keybank 2 years ago.
Nice.
That was absolutely amazing. That bucket list band for me, that was one of the one of the first heavy bands that I really got into. My dad had the Black Album, and Black Album is classic, man. That's first rock CD I grew up on, and to see them coming to Buffalo to get that chance, I actually went with Justin, our buddy Justin. So we got tickets. Funny story, which makes this concert even better, is we bought tickets in the 300s, front 300s, and he bought them on through the digital tickets. So that day was coming, didn't have the tickets yet. Day of, didn't have the tickets. They didn't send it to him. Called, complained. To make up for it, gave us 2 seats in the 100 section, right down there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right next to the tunnel where the band ran through. So I saw them ran through. And they had their stage set up directly in the middle. So it was a 360 stage, and it was Halloween. I was dressed up as Garth from Wayne's World. So and it was Metallica. They rocked out, played every song I would want to hear, and solid number 4 for me.
Nice.
Awesome.
Dude, I love Metallica. I love them. Or I'm sorry, I don't love Metallica. Not that I might get it. I love live concerts when you get a band like that energy. See, your enthusiasm about that, seeing that is just man, that's why I love live concerts of them big names. When you get someone, you're just I love concerts that you just you leave it feeling just depleted. All right, I'm drained. You gave it your all. And it's just man, what else do I want? I got to hear everything from them.
Yeah.
No. I'll drop in with my next one. Let's see. That. My 4th I'm gonna have to put is I'll have to drop Warped Tour right here, actually, probably. And I'll specifically drop a couple years, which is the 2010 the 2012, and the last one that they did there was the nationwide tour, because the last one technically they did like another 3-day festival mid-country, which
Okay.
which aggravated me because I went to the last tour and yet you still drop the one after
Dang.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, got annoyed at
Yeah,
that.
I've had a Warped Tour in a long time since
But
that closed.
oh man, see, I liked it because each year that I kind of every year I went, it was always something else I gained from it. But specifically, 2010 was the first year that I went that I enjoyed it. I went in 2009, but that was my first year, and I went with some friends, and we were supervised by my father. So the whole time we sat in the box seats over near like the stage, not realizing there's a festival behind us.
Oh
So I
man.
missed out my first one. Like I missed out on a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But after that, that was my second year moving forward. I went with my friend Jay, and just Warped Tour is the one time a year that we look forward to all year round. Like that was our big day. And 2010 is when I got to see Real Big Fish live for the first time. I got to see Less Than Jake. I got to meet bands.
Right.
2012 is when I started getting into like the more heavier. Like I went through this very strict ska phase, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll listen to some more stuff. So by 2012's tour, I was listening to Day to Remember, Devil Wears Prada, Silverstein, saw them, and then finally the last one was just that last hurrah. And it's just like Warped Tour was always like, I'm back. I'm home. This is what it's like to be at like a punk festival, and I love it.
Yeah.
So
That's why it's awesome when it's at Darien Lake, because I went a few
yes.
times in like 05, 06. It's where they open up that back gate and it's like
Mhm.
a whole
You don't
giant
realize.
around area.
Yep.
And it's so cool because like in between bands, I mean, if you know your bands, like you see them just like walking around. And you can see them, say hi and all that stuff, and like go on to your next band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to go to those back in when like Ozfest and stuff was cool. Like Ozfest and Warped Tour, like a few years there where they had just absolute killers, just every year solid lineup.
Never went to Ozfest. Never went to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll maybe I'll be able to hit it up post COVID.
Yeah,
who knows?
Ozfest isn't a thing. I don't think anymore.
Is it? I didn't know it stopped.
Yeah, I think it stopped maybe a few years ago. I could be wrong, but I haven't heard anything about Ozfest. So
I've heard about it. I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I'm not in that music scene heavy enough to not know if it stops. But if it is, if it is a thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm into heavier, not as much Warped Tour. That's a little bit more kind of punk influenced. Yeah, this is more metal and heavy, and like I'm drawn
slowly expanding.
Drawn to the heavy side.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. What's your third?
Into the top tier.
Into the top tier, top three.
So my number 3 is such a fantastic moment. It was Weezer going into 21 Pilots Firefly Festival 2017. Oh my God, dude. Those were 2 bands. I had seen 21 Pilots at Canalside the first time. So this was huge festival venue. First time seeing Weezer. And obviously festival like kind of venue setting. Firefly's in Dover, Delaware, if you weren't aware. But
okay.
4 days, so they were headliners Saturday night, and man, they absolutely killed it. Like Weezer, that might be another band. You might not know a lot of their. You don't think you know a lot of their songs, but they have so many singles.
Oh God, yeah.
For like 25 years, like.
Dude, Pinkerton's one of my favorite albums.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I Weezer's good. I like them. I'd love to see them if they came through.
Yeah. It was amazing. I mean, I've been wanting to see them for a long time. The friends I was with, like, didn't like know Weezer really that many. Maybe like a few popular songs, but they were like not really as hyped. I was like, you guys, this is gonna be amazing. This is Weezer. Like, do you realize who Weezer is? They're like, I don't know. And then they start playing all their songs. And they're like, yeah, I know this song. Yeah, I know this song. And like, yeah, Weezer's just like a classic, solid rock band. And obviously have the energy to
do a
live show. And then they finished, and right after them was 21 Pilots. And they were absolutely fantastic. If you've never seen 21 Pilots in concert, you're sadly missing out. And man, it's sad. I know Amber hasn't seen them yet, but
no, she was supposed to. My sister and her best friend, they went down and they saw them. They got like front row for them. And my sister's like, "Well, I can pass out now. I'm good."
Yeah. So those are my number 3, and those
nice
heavy hitters right there.
I'll say my number 3. It is. I'm holding on to it. It's hard to choose up because I love this band, And they're my first time seeing them. It's there's a band called Keep Flying. I saw them at Sugar City back in 2018. I don't know if you ever been there. It's like a
I've heard of
local venue. It's like an art collective type of place where you basically, if you want to put a show on there, you contact them, let them know, and you rent the space out for like $50 or maybe it's different now, but it's like minimal level, like that's like dirt cheap, but it's all super indie side, like very like from like local built up.
Yeah.
And it is and they came in, and I'm gonna tell you, like I knew the band briefly from them being good, from the band members being in other bands like Survey Says and some of the influences going in. But when you saw them at Sugar City, this tiny small, it literally is like almost like someone had almost like a basement. This the atmosphere of the venue that they played in looks like almost like a basement, kind of almost like a basement show, but wasn't in a basement. It was in like the back. It was almost like a back room that just packed in. They fit like 6 people on a little stage, probably big enough for about 4 max. And the energy that came out of there was unreal.
That's awesome.
They have this very much thrash, post-punk, hardcore, but they're not ska. They're like ska adjacent, where the one like couple of the members play horns, and it just adds to this like that intensity, like that heaviness, like that aggression, like that post-hardcore. And it was just insane. And you see this small band in this little venue, and like the other local acts that came up before them were cool too. But when they got on there, you're like thinking, all right, that's what the local acts are sounding like. This is probably the atmosphere of everyone else. But now you have these guys who just took over the stage, and the entire room just molded. It was unreal. I love it.
It sounds like when I was living on Hurdle, there's because I lived in the carriage house in the back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a house in the front, and there's a band that lived, like a punk band that lived in there. And they had like converted their basement into like a concert venue. So they would play shows down there. That's exactly what that reminded me of, what you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, this was a basement. So, I mean, there's no idea that was a basement. But, yeah,
But it had that, like, it had that vibe. Like, when you go into the basement, like, it's, like, dim lighting. The walls are very flat, but, like, maybe posters or stuff and up and down it. But it was very much just, like, it was an indie art collective at its finest. It was awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool that DIY setup in there.
Exactly.
Able to do all that stuff themselves, and it comes out legit, exactly how you want it to.
Yeah. So, all right, so let's get to number 2s. What you got?
Ooh, number 2. Unforgettable concert. This was 30 Seconds to Mars in Lincoln Park, Darien Lake, 2014.
Oh, nice.
That's Hybrid Theory from Lincoln Park is, I mean, one of the top 10 albums for me. I grew up with that, and this is my first time able to see Lincoln Park.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen to Lincoln Park?
Listen to them a little bit. I'm slowly being introduced into them, so I know some of their songs when I hear them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have a lot of albums and stuff, but amazing music, and just to be able to see like all that come to life. And they played every single song you would want to hear, and every member in that band was clearly a professional, because it sounded perfect. Like everybody was on point, like energy was off the roof. And so they actually killed it. Everyone like did like their own solos. I mean, there's so many members in that band. There's probably like 7 members in that band at least. So they got all these different instruments, and especially with them in 30 Seconds to Mars, that was my first time seeing them. Those guys rock out as well, just as hard. But the sad part about that concert was actually like 2 weeks before Chester Bennington took his life. So that was like one of the last appearances ever in concert. And luckily I was able to see that.
Oh, wow.
A buddy of mine is actually supposed to see him in Syracuse, but concert got canceled due to, that circumstance.
Oh, no. So
yeah.
That's something that's definitely going to have to go down to the books of just, that's an experience that no one else will ever have.
Yeah. And I was with my other 2 friends who have been like lifelong fans of Linkin Park as well. So yeah, that was a huge bucket list for us. And yeah, knew every song, like playing every song, and absolutely fantastic. Man, I love that stuff. We actually had seen Jared Leto as well, the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, when we were driving in to Darien Lake. like going up to the park, and there's like a guy riding like a bicycle. He had like a big like rice farmer hat,
Yeah.
big triangle Raiden hat. And he was like riding that bike, and I'm just like, we're creeping along traffic. I was like, I recognize that hat because I follow him on social media. I was like, I recognize that hat. Like, and I'm like looking, and we're just slowly driving past. I look back, I was like, man, that was Jared Leto right there, just riding his bike around, checking everybody out. So yeah,
That's
so
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Top two for me. Next up, I'd have to say I saw Mustard Plug with a local band known as AKS, or Abominable Killer Snowmen, ska band, at the Sakura Post out in North Tonawanda.
Okay.
Back in 2009, and this was like my first. This is one of the first concerts I really consider that really just kind of changed me. It was my first ska show, and I remember going in and dancing just nonstop in the pit. And then biggest thing too was like a weekday night. So it was like, all right, the main band went down, and my stepmom brought me to it. She was in the back next to like the bar area, and I was like, all right, let's go. She's like, well, the main band's not done yet, so if you want to finish watching, you can go. And I'm like, oh, we can stay? Okay, cool. So I remember running back up as Mustard Plug got on their, not really stage, it's like a platform. I don't know if you ever went to a Sakura Post show. There's no stage at all. It's almost like an American, it's almost like the like an American Legion, or like a what are they called? The halls.
Okay.
The lodge. And it's like a bingo hall that they cleared out and had a rug set as a stage. And as I go running back, because they just got on the little space, I slipped on a thing of beer and I slid. And I remember standing up, and I was in the middle of the crowd, like front row. And it was just, from then on, I was like, all right, this is a ska show. This is what I want to be. This is why hell, this is probably why I talk about this genre so much.
Right, yeah.
But it was awesome. And I mean, on top of it, it was one of those things that solidified, saying like, hey, this is a great atmosphere. And it was one of those, like, I always thought like, oh man, you fall in a pit, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get trampled. Yet I got, a hand reached down and picked me up. And as a kid, it was one of those moments that was like, I could do this.
Right. Which, I mean, that pit, I would assume, is just a lot more concentrated on like dancing and stuff.
In the circle, rather than a thrash.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, those thrash pits are pretty intense.
I mean, I one of my last times at Warped Tour, I remember looking at the pit and being like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to hurt tomorrow morning.
Right. I would always just like go in for a little bit, thrash a little bit, and then just stay in the outside circle. So I'm still there.
Crowd up.
Yeah, so I'm still there, but I get the joy of pushing people back in, and like people that didn't watch is like, that was a good time.
Oh man!
I also didn't get punched in my eye socket, and my ear, and my throat, and my nose, and my lip, and
yeah. See, I'm not looking for it. I remember. All right, real quick. Favorite time I was in a pit. It was We Came as Romans, 2000. It was a 2012 show. And I'm throwing down in the pit because, hardcore, they at least have it more like spaced out. And I went to go throw a back fist, and I got kicked at the same moment as me punching someone in the face.
Yeah.
It was my cousin. We didn't know we were at the show together. I was like, hey. We both got clocked. It was like, all right, we're good. Crawl to the outside of the pit. You're like, all right. I get a text from my friend like, yo, I think I broke my leg. Come and help me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Number one, top concert.
Oh man,
this is hard. You're a concert goer.
Yeah, for me it was not hard. Like, this has been my number one ever since I saw this concert, and I talk about this concert all the time. System of a Down, Hamilton, Canada, 05. This was right after they released Hypnotize, Mesmerize, their last album, so they were touring on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was like top of the game System of a Down right there. 05, just out of high school, and it was in like a hockey arena. So it was just all on the floor right there. It was just all general admission. So I started like right in the middle, and as soon as they started playing, they just like everybody jumping. There was so much energy in there, just completely jumping the entire time as they're playing every song that you would want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually I was with my girlfriend at the time. We eventually got split up just because it was so intense. it was just like rock, like the perfect like rock pit. The entire thing was a rock pit. And my favorite part about that was eventually, because I wanted to start getting closer and closer to the stage, obviously to get a closer view, made my way up there, ended up right in front of the stage. So they had like their gate fence right there. Ended up in the front, like big fat dude, like huge fat dude, just like leaning like up on the gate. I eventually got up to him. For the last like quarter of the concert, I was legit just like laying on this dude's back as people were like thrashing behind me. My front side is super comfortable. He's totally cool with it. To rock out the concert. So I'm just like this, just like on this team, like still thrashing. System of a Down is literally right there, rocking my face off. And that was like the rest of my concert for that. Like that dude was a lifesaver, extremely comfortable, and like I got to see System of a Down. Like not a lot of people, not a lot of my friends, and like people can actually say that, but
that is awesome. That is cool. So that's neat when you got someone that's like, I'm cool with it, man. You were probably blocking everyone from smashing into him.
Oh yeah.
He's like, all right, win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, I mean, yeah. That's awesome.
That was perfect.
All right. See, top concert for me. I'm gonna follow suit with you in saying that it's roughly right after high school. A little bit after 2005 though. For me, it was it's either 2013 or 2014 because I saw the band multiple years in a row. But one year, I was on my way to go. Sorry, so this is fun. Let me back up to set this up. This is great. So I love the band Kiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that I was in a lip sync band, right?
Yeah, I saw you and Amber's first picture together.
Yeah, great. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And or not met. That's our first like couple picture.
Right.
So I was in a lip sync Kiss band, and we didn't play anything. It was just fun. We went out basically for Halloween. But whenever they came through to like Darien Lake, we'd always try and go and get like a VIP box or get partnered up with 97 Rock and get like the photo shoot out near like the 97 Rock bus, and we'd be up in costume and everything.
Yeah.
But one year, I thought we were getting ready to do this. So we got a makeup, all went out, and we started driving. I'm like, yo, guys, we're not driving to Buffalo. Like, where are we going? We just missed the Orchard Park exit. And they kept driving. And they drove to Rochester. I'm like, why are we in Rochester?
Okay.
Surprise, the show was in Rochester. I was never made aware of that. It was just, they told me we were going to see Kiss. I never asked where. I assumed we were going to Darien Lake.
Okay.
It also wasn't partnered up through like 97 Rock. It was just us going as fans. I'm like, wait, aren't we like going to do the meet and greet or nothing? Nope, nothing like that. So I'm like, okay. We go to I think it's the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester.
Okay.
Hockey arena, floor seating we got. It wasn't no box. It was one of the best experiences ever. Done up in makeup in the platform boots. We're seeing over the crowd.
Yeah.
And basically, when you go to a show dressed up as the band, as fans, they don't care where you walk around. As long as you're not trying to go backstage, they're just kind of like, all right, yeah, walk through here because people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, oh, sure. People are taking pictures with us nonstop. It's awesome. We're walking around on the floor. Opened it up really huge. They had like chairs set up, but everyone was just like basically giant general admission it turned into.
Yeah.
But during the one part, we know Kiss so much, or we know Kiss is set. We love the shows, so that we decide during Love Gun, we're pretty sure that Paul Stanley's going to do the zip line across.
Okay.
So I dress up as Ace Frehley. The guy that dressed up as Paul, we're big Paul Stanley fans. We walk over to the middle where we think he's going to go. Does exactly that. Zip lines right over us, right down. He's pointing down at us as he's playing the solo and singing. He's pointing at us, throwing picks in everyone's direction. We got one. And then he goes up on the thing and starts spinning around. And it was just one of those, like, as a guitarist, like my first band that I was like, I was diehard fan was Kiss. Mm-hmm. Of those four members, Paul Stanley, he was just a songwriter. Just that's the one that was my thing. So to see him in front, like as close as I did, that I like, he saw me, looked at me, pointed to me. It was like, all right, live concert experience.
Yeah.
Bucket list is set. I mean, apart from a meet and greet with them, I'm good. And that's why after that, I was like, all right, well, Warped Tour it is. I'm just going to meet all my other favorite punk and ska bands. I mean,
right. And it'd be
But
cool to be at that
oh
concert
my
dressed
God.
up in like full costume
You know,
and
it was awesome. I'm gonna tell you, next time they come through, I missed on them. I passed on it last time, but next time they come through after all of this, because I feel like they always do another reunion tour. No matter
yeah.
how many times they say this is the last one, they always do one more.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when COVID's done and it's safe, I'm sure they're gonna try and do one more, and I'm gonna have to go to it. I can't pass
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Kiss fan, but I mean, it's definitely like
Alive,
a concert experience to go
that's
to.
what it is. I mean, their music's good. They're not the most intricate music. They're not the most like
Right.
they're not the most. I mean, there's other musicians and bands that their songs are a lot more crazy, a lot more intense, maybe better solos. But as far as an experience as a live show, it's kind of like Slipknot. Like their music's awesome, but
Yeah.
like when the fire's being blasted and I can feel it, and you're just like, oh my God, this is nuts. This is
Yeah.
unreal. That's how it was with Kiss, where they were doing like the theatrics of swinging down the stage, and where Gene Simmons when he does God of Thunder, they hook him up and he does the whole bat wing thing. And he flies up to the top.
Nice.
It's just like that's awesome. It's just like it's like an
that's
act.
That's why you go to a Kiss concert.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to listen to the music, go listen to any live album you're set with. I love them, but for a live show, a live performance, Kiss is awesome. But,
Yeah.
all right. Well, Brian, dude, thank you for joining us talking about our top 5 favorite concerts.
It was enjoyable.
I'll have to have you back on. We'll jump into some jump into some music. Maybe we can get you on for an episode with a friend or two, and we could do some live performances, do a jam along with some people. Who knows? We'll set that up.
There we go.
Let the people know, where can they find you? Where do you put out your content so people can follow and view you and stream you and all of the fun stuff?
First of all, YouTube. I got a YouTube channel, Mr. BC. So I put all my uke videos up on there. Mm-hmm. And then also my Instagram, like Mr. BC as well. So
all right, guys,
check out all my stuff on there and keep coming out. I try to do it every week. So no end in sight.
No end in sight. Guys, head on over to Brian's content, Instagram and YouTube. Follow him, like him, share him, show support. And then please, finally, after that, head on over to the BICBP Radio Network at bicbp-radio.com. We've got podcasts for everyone, a whole bunch of new shows hitting it all day, nonstop, as well as Vinyl Divers currently is getting set up with a merch page. So if I have it up in time and I'm able to, check in the link down below. There will be a link to the Vinyl Divers shop and pick up a shirt or a hoodie while you're there. So show support. Till next time, guys, keep diving.